The debut of the trailer for the new Disney Plus live-action CG, hand-drawn hybrid, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, sparked a fast flurry of varied reactions. We should go back to the beginning of this whole thing. Following the success of DuckTales, 1987, Disney considered developing a syndicated television series based on the animated film The Rescuers, 1977. However, after rediscovering the simple joys of The Rescuers and learning that Disney still owned the rights to the story, Jeffrey Katzenberg greenlit the development of the first Disney animated picture sequel, The Rescuers Down Under, 1990. Then, various changes had to be made to the property's development for television. Tad Stones, supervising story editor, and his crew, including co-creator Alan Zaslove, took the main notion of little animals being heroes in the world of humans and created Metro Mice, a play on the title of the detective television series Miami Vice. Kit Colby, an adventurous mouse wearing an Indiana Jones jacket and hat; Colt Cheddarson, a burly Australian kangaroo rat and explosives expert; Gadget, a blonde female mouse who was an inventor; Chirp Sing, an oriental cricket who loved baseball and martial arts; Camilla, a chameleon and the team's secretary; and Eagle Eye, a nearsighted eagle who was the team's lookout, would have been the main characters. They went, "We love the premise of the show, but your primary character doesn't have it," Stones recounted of a pitch meeting with Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg. The conference lasted a bit longer, and we concluded that DuckTales was a huge success. What other Disney characters can we work with? You don't want to do anything with Mickey or Goofy, but there's Pluto and all that. There's Chip and Dale, I finally said. Eisner replied, "Great, put those folks in that show," and Jeffrey responded, "Home run." That's how Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers were completed. It altered our evolution because, instead of a single hero, we now have this well-established dynamic that provided us with several storylines about how they interacted with other characters. Chip inherited Kit Colby's Indiana Jones clothing and love of adventure, while Dale was given a Hawaiian shirt, possibly influenced by the then-popular television detective drama Magnum. Colt Cheddarson morphed into the cheese-obsessed Monterey Jack. Gadget was kept, but the other animal characters were dropped. Zipper the housefly, modeled like Avin Rude the dragonfly from the original animated film The Rescuers, was introduced to serve comparable responsibilities such as flight and electricity generation. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers to the Rescue, a feature-length adaptation, premiered on the Disney Channel on August 2, 1988. It was designed so that the picture could be split into 5 episodes for the normal series, but when that happened, alterations were made, therefore there were sequences added and eliminated in the 5 episodes. To the Rescue is an origin narrative about how the Rescue Rangers were created and earned their name, as well as some backstory information about the characters, such as the fact that Gadget was the daughter of one of Monty's old friends who had died a year before. Season 1 of the show began on the Disney Channel on March 5, 1989, with Piracy Under the Seas as the opening episode. The series was added to the Disney Afternoon syndicated lineup in September 1989. They Shoot Dogs, Don't They? Was the final original episode to air on November 19, 1990, with the show moving into repeats of its 65 produced episodes for the following few years. In 1993, the show was removed off the Disney Afternoon block and replaced by Bonkers, an effort by the Disney company to develop a completely owned Roger Rabbit-like character. According to the original 1989 news release, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers is a half-hour of wide humor and adventure with a heavy dosage of mystery, starring 2 of Disney's most popular main characters. Chip and Dale lead a tiny, quirky gang of animal characters that keep an eye on not just the human world, but also the animal community, solving puzzles wherever they may be. Although these incidents may appear little at first glance, they inevitably lead to far larger crimes and riddles. The local police are either too busy to deal with such issues, or they are outside of their authority. Here are the character descriptions from the Writer's Tale Bible. As a collective, the chipmunks governed the group. Chip is the more structured and pragmatic chipmunk, with a strong sense of responsibility. He dressed like an explorer. He's the braver of the 2, if only because he's more aware of the danger he's in, whilst Dale is more ignorant. Dale is a free spirit with a sense of wackiness, halfway between Curly from the Three Stooges and Harpo Marx. Dale is not stupid, but he is extremely gullible. Dale's reality seemed to distort around him. Dale is preoccupied with the activities of the now rather than their repercussions. Monterey Jack is the Rescue Ranger's rowdy, backslapping muscle mouse, a gung-ho person who isn't fond of nuanced tactics and techniques. Monterey has an Australian accent but comes from a multicultural family. Cheese is his culinary weakness. Unfortunately, his cheese tooth frequently works against him. Zipper, the obviously unusual housefly, encountered Monterey Jack somewhere along his journey. This little boy has the excitement and energy of 10 men crammed into his little frame, and only Lassie and Rin Tin Tin can match his loyalty. He is also the source of power for several of Gadget's gadgets and creations. He has no issue communicating his thoughts with his frenzied buzzing and pantomime. Gadget is a likable chatterbox with the Rescue Ranger's greatest brain and warmest heart. She is a timid person who only gets gregarious when she is working on or discussing one of her ideas. Her innovations are always mechanical in character and built using human-scaled components. She doesn't create anti-gravity devices, invisibility rays, shrinking beams, or anything else. She focuses on gliders, elevator shoes, climbing equipment, and soapbox racers. Chip and Dale are obsessed with Gadget and are constantly competing for her attention. She has no idea how attractive she is, and obvious comments make her blush. She joined because she genuinely wanted to use her skills to assist others. The kingpin of animal criminals is Fat Cat, a felonious feline that has his claws into every fraud and racket in town. He rarely engages in violence personally, but has no qualms about subjecting someone to an agonizing destiny at the hands of another. He continually complains that fate is stacked against him. He's plagued by inept subordinates, lousy workmanship, and low-quality caviar. But it's all a clever ruse. Although Fat Cat plans to take important goods in the human world, he never interacts with humans. He is purely a felon of the animal kingdom. Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers will premiere on May 20, 2022.